Yo, what is happening, guys? Welcome back to the Undisputed Reaction channel. Of course, we're back with another reaction. Now, today, we are back for another Snow the Product reaction. And this one is going to be a little bit of a long one. Because today, we will be reacting to Snow the Product before they were famous. If you don't know what before they were famous is, obviously, it literally just takes you, picks a random person, like say Snow the Product, someone who's famous, and takes you into the background of their upbringing, all the things got them in their passion, and just gives you an overall history of that person and basically what they were like before they were famous. And it kind of gives you the chance to compare what they're like now compared to what they are and all that shit. And it's just really good to see their backstories, what they came from, if they went through struggles and how they overcame it. But we're going to get into it just before we do. As always, hope you all have an amazing day. If you're not, switch that shit, fuck around, start having an amazing day. Always trying to spread positive vibes, entertain, have fun on this channel, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the fun and the vibes. But without further ado, Snow the Product before they were famous. Buckle in your seatbelts, because it's going to be a long ride. But let's go.
Before Snow the Product would drop tracks like Going Off, Let You Go, and Waste of Time, which now has more than 16 million views on YouTube.
Damn.
Before she would work with Tech Nine, Ty Dolla $ign, Lupe Fiasco, and more. Before Snow would garner over 600,000 subscribers on YouTube, over 2 million on Facebook, over 160K on Twitter, and 1 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording.
Jeez.
Snow has been in the game for over a decade now, starting off selling mixtapes on the street in San Diego and battle rapping with her friends. She dropped out of college to pursue her rap dream and started to gain a buzz through freestyle and remix videos online. Her unmatched flow and refreshing energy was something the game needed. Eventually, she would gain more notoriety and sign a record deal. And for most people, that's where the story ends. But Snow's is a little bit different.
That's where the story began, basically.
Out there, I hope you're having one heck of a day. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this.
I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest with you,
aka
man.
Mr. Hectacular. Actually, no one has ever called me that, but today,
I'll
that's
call
who I
you
am.
Hectacular.
And anyways, I'm here for you today on Before They Were Famous, and today, I'll be taking you through the life and career of Snow the Product.
Yeah.
I've covered other artists like Anderson .Paak and Comethazine, so be sure to check those out after you finish watching this one if you like it. And as always, be sure to let me know in the comments down below who to cover next. Without any more talking, let's get to it.
I've watched the LeBron James one and all that. I did the one Logan Paul too.
Hey, be sure to subscribe.
He did it on basically everyone from YouTubers
Snow
to
the
fucking
Product was
basketball
born
players.
Claudia Alexandra Feliciano on June 24, 1987.
That's a long ass name. Was that? What the fuck?
Both of her parents were undocumented Mexican immigrants, and on her song Woke Wednesday, she raps, "I'm the product of illegals, I'm 100 like C notes." And she told DJ Booth, "At the end of the day, I'm just some Mexican girl that wants to impact other Mexican girls."
So I just wanted to be what I didn't see when I was growing up, was a representation of some Mexican chick rapping.
She took ESL classes growing up and became fluent in both English and Spanish. And in high school, she even learned how to speak a third language.
Tagalog, yeah, man. I only learned how to ask to go to the restroom, and then I would just ditch after that. So I learned how to say, you know, may I please go to the restroom?
First of all, shout out to that interviewer for
language
doing
was
his
that?
research. I appreciate that. Secondly, I did the exact same thing in my French class. I took 8 years of French, and by the end, the only thing I could say was, "Can I go to the bathroom, please?"
I took a long time to do French, and I still don't know.
Homework.
I know bonjour.
Time.
I know a little bit more Spanish, but I still
Snow's
don't know
mother
enough.
learned English from a Filipino woman
Snow
who
raps
she
in
worked
Spanish,
with.
I have no clue.
And Snow says her mom has a bit of a different accent now because of that. Her dad was around for most of her childhood growing up, but she says her father is no longer in her life. Snow says that he taught her certain morals and values that she continues to represent in her music. When she was 3 years old, she was singing around the house, and at the young age of 6, Snow was rocking out school talent shows. Her dad would also take her to local bars and tell her that if she wanted to become a singer and make some money, then she should practice singing in front of people, even if she was a little bit underage. She even performed vocals for her grandfather's mariachi band in Redwood City. Originally, she thought about wanting to be a singer and later writing a book or a movie. But it was when she moved to San Diego with her family that she first fell in love with hip hop. She started to listen to more.
It's always the case of like that benefits you starting so young, because obviously she started, like, her dad took her to basically sing in front of people. If you're gonna want to be a singer, you're gonna have to be able to sing in front of a lot of people, because you might be a good singer, but when people are standing there judging the shit out of you, you might not be able to sing. So actually teaching her that young, it could go hit or miss because it could ruin her fucking dreams. But thankfully, I'd say thankfully for Snow, thankfully for us, we got Snow because it didn't fucking ruin her dreams. So
rap and R&B music, and it changed
it benefited
her whole
everybody,
life.
including us,
Musically,
because
she's
we got to
influenced
know the
by
product.
rappers and artists with their own original style, including some of the greats like Missy Elliott, DeBrat, Pun, Lauryn Hill, Aaliyah, Amy Winehouse, Andre 3 Stacks, Luda, Johnny Cash, Eminem, Busta Rhymes, Tupac, Mac Dre, Tech Nine, and
Fuck,
more.
there's
She was
loads.
also inspired by Selena. As a teenager, she started to freestyle with her friends. Her boyfriend at the time was rapping, but Snow says he wasn't very good, so she thought, I could do better than all these guys. She started to write her own raps, and one
she
day,
did?
she rapped it in front of the whole crew, and they lost it. In an interview with Latina magazine in 2012, she said, I actually just stumbled into it. My friends were all doing freestyling and doing music. I was really that girl who always had her headphones on. I really like music, but I didn't think I'd make my own. But then I started freestyling and then battling. Then I put my stuff on MySpace and people liked it.
Oh my god,
and I liked doing it,
MySpace.
so I just kept doing it.
Oh
She
my
told
god,
Snoop in an interview
MySpace.
that the first beat she ever rapped on was Jaquan's Hood Hop, a classic. Also, where is Jaquan these days? Because Tipsy has to be a top 10 song of the 2000s.
I gotta say that, like, just imagine, just imagine you're sitting with your partner, like, your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Just imagine you're sitting with your partner and you're rapping and you think you're sick, and all of a sudden your partner's like, you're dog water. Let me show you how it's done. And then your partner, right? So you're supposed to be the rapper. You're the one freestyling, thinking you're sick. And then your partner, who you never expected to freestyle, just goes off and starts spitting bars and just bodies you and puts you in a grave. How do you react? Because in a way, you're like, oh shit. Like, you're going to be disappointed. Well, like, oh shit, that was sick. But then you're just kind of like, I'm supposed to be the rapper. I'm supposed to be the one rapping. What the fuck? Because they just bodied you because they're so much better. Like, do you imagine how that guy
When I
felt?
was like 17,
Must
I
have
was
hurt
like,
his ego.
This is it. I want to do this. I want to rap. I want to battle. I want to battle guys. I want to show them that I'm just as good as them at rapping. And yeah.
She cites persistence
She
as a
looks
big
so much
reason
different.
why she made it to where
Well,
she
like,
is today.
she looks the same,
Because
but she
just
looks
kept
so
going.
much different at
She
the same
would sell
time.
her CDs in San Diego and says no one was buying them. The cops even took her CDs. And that wasn't her only
wow.
run-in with the law, though, because at one point, she was in juvenile detention center for a short period of time, about a month. But she did
What did
say
she
that
do?
her trouble with the law has not prevented her from making it across the Canadian border. So shout out to us in Canada. She also
Canada,
ran
they're
track
too
in
nice.
high school, and at one point, she held the record for her school's best mile time, which was in the 6-minute mile range. She was also president of her school's Latina club growing up, where she got to speak on issues that were affecting her community. And that
Fuck
activism
me.
has continued throughout her career, as she's been passionate about issues regarding immigration, politics, and more, and has never been afraid to speak up about what matters.
Snow
to her.
has been the
On
voice
being outspoken and political.
since the
To
beginning.
the westward, she said, I am one of the artists who was very outspoken about a lot of things and political shit and activism shit. And I've always been very outspoken.
Good.
To my own detriment. To where there's people that are trying to capitalize now and trying to be the face of that. It's like, dude, don't use this stuff as your platform. You're supposed to use your platform for this stuff. Snow continued to
Well
make
said.
music, and when Snow was 18, she did her first show at a small venue. But the venue was packed. She was really nervous, but once she got on stage, she killed it.
And as soon as like it was time for me to rap, like I just went and I did it and I blacked out. Like I don't remember anything except for just rocking it. And then after everybody was like coming up to me like, oh my god.
Is that a ring?
Even though she had decided
Fucking
on
big
rap
is
as a
that ring?
career, her mom pushed her to go to college. So after high school, she attended San Diego Mesa College, where she was studying to become a social worker. But
Social
soon
worker.
into her
I
college
feel like
career,
I have heard
at the
that
age of
before.
19,
I don't know if I've heard it in one of her videos or one of yous have told me or something, but I just know that I know she was going to become a social worker. I know that. Because it kind of fit, because her rap is obviously, she wants to prove that she is not only like better than a lot of these guys, but like she says, she's always been outspoken, basically speaking for the people who don't have a voice. So being a social worker kind of falls in line with that. So that makes a lot of
she dropped
sense.
out to pursue her dream of music. She realized that she could help
the
more
rap was
people
obviously
who were
the
going
best
through a
career choice
tough
for her.
time with her music than if she were to help people individually one at a time through social work. She's dealt with depression and anxiety throughout her whole life and started to put down her thoughts about life into songs to help her vent.
I feel good that even if I changed a couple people's lives, that's dope. Because when I wanted to be a social worker, that's all I wanted to do. So now I get to do it via
Music
having
for
fun
your
and tweeting
passion.
Her friends Jill and Lisa convinced her to pursue her rap dream, and Lisa actually helped
Shout
her
out Jill and
money for
Lisa.
Snow to record her first demo. Once she decided to go after music wholeheartedly, she knew she needed a rap name, and turned to the good old reliable Disney Channel for inspiration.
Oh, Disney
Snow
Channel.
White was her original moniker, but she later added on the product. She says, "When I used to dream about making it, I would talk about it with one friend, and we would think it would be something like a fairy tale. We joked about what princess we'd be, like what Disney one we'd be. I had dark hair and light skin, so I became Snow White. Some people think I'm referencing something bad, but no, not really. It's from a princess. The product was because I wanted to kind of make sure that this didn't take on my whole life. You know, I'm still Claudia, I'm still down to earth. I'm not always like when I'm rapping or performing." She was going by Snow White the product until Disney forced her to change the name. She told Hip Hop DX, "Considering that they make kids movies, they sure got some rough and tough lawyers." In 2008, she dropped her first.
Hey yo, that is cool though. Again, I feel like I've heard that before, but it's always interesting to see why rappers or like even sometimes singers, like the ones that just don't use their real name, why they thought of that name. You know what I mean? Like the way she said Snow the product, you're like, why Snow the product? Like, because sometimes it can just be the case of you're just sitting there and then you're like, you put words together and you're like, oh, Snow the product, that sounds good. Or there's times like that where there's an origin behind it and she's like, oh, this is why, the way she said, oh, Snow White was her favorite Disney princess, and she goes, dark hair, light skin, so Snow the product, and then obviously the white, but Snow the product sounds better than Snow White the product anyway. So Disney did you a favor, and it kind of helped take away the fact of, oh, I got my name from this and I established it myself. So it kind of helped with that, to be honest. But it's cool to see shit like that.
She became known as one of the best new lyrical rappers out. Her flow was unmatched and her punchlines were crazy. At first, she was also recording songs in Spanish, and they must have been pretty good because they caught the ears of Mexican artist Jamie Cohen, who recorded the song Algo En with her. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but if I'm not, let me know in the comments.
Probably not.
It was off of his 2009 album and became very popular in Mexico, even being played on the radio there. She was going by the name Claudia White on the track and says she doesn't curse at all when she raps in Spanish because she knows her whole family will understand it. In 2010,
so she saves
Snow
it for
moved
the
to
English
Fort
version.
Worth, Texas. Soon after she moved there, one of the first opportunities to show off her skills on the mic was at the Murda Worth Mic Pass, where she was asked to be a part of a track.
Even though it was more of a like locally thing, like Murda Worth, which is Fort Worth, and it's a smaller town in Texas, I felt happy to be, you know, because I had just moved there.
That same year, she released the mixtapes Run Up or Shut Up and Wake Your Game Up to start creating a buzz. She says she recorded the tapes in her garage. Snow was set on being herself and not conforming to an industry that categorized many of their female rappers as either overtly sexual or pop stars.
Good.
But she stuck to her original style, and no matter what, she said, "I want to show girls, especially those into hip-hop, that you can be yourself and be good. People, especially girls, do some crazy stuff to call attention to themselves." In 2010, Snow released her clothing line called Woke. I know what you're thinking. I didn't use that word until 2016. Exactly. While you may use it as a condescending term on Twitter today, Snow actually claims to have invented the term. And she might have a point.
It has always been about being aware, being awake, being conscious, being cognizant. But it was more about take advantage of these opportunities that we have right now because there is so much up going on.
She actually had the word trademarked at one point, recently telling Billboard, "I could literally talk to anybody face to face and talk about how that was a clothing line I've had since that long ago, even before Woke registered
So
really
she
on Google. There's
she
Google
created it.
Trends to prove it. It's been dope and it's been awesome, and obviously it's bigger than me now. The word woke itself has become its own thing now. I'm aware enough to be like, that's dope, the world knows, go do that shit." In 2011, she recorded her debut project,
I'm sorry, but like,
Unorthodox.
this is actually crazy, right? I just gotta put this in perspective. We're in 2023. 2023, right? And I'm sitting here watching this about Snow the Product's life and all that, right? And obviously, I discovered Snow the Product in 2021. Right? 2021, off Dax's album, been reacting to her ever since. Because it was around like maybe October time, right? So it's 2023. I've only been listening to her for about a year and a half now. This was 2010. I was 10 in 2010. I'm coming 23 in March. I was 10 in 2010, fam. Put that into perspective. I was 10. That's 13 fucking years ago. And she was like doing this. And the fact I've only discovered her this late in her journey is insane to me.
She said
Like,
she
time
recorded that in
is
her garage
fucking
as
nuts
well,
to me.
but
That's
two
crazy.
songs in particular off the
That's
project
actually insane.
started bubbling online, with Drunk
2010.
Love and Wednesday going viral. The songs now have 2.6 million and 1.9 million views on YouTube
Millies.
respectively. She created a street team to help push her music and called them the Product Pushers. The
Product
name ended up
Pushers.
evolving, and it became the name of her fan base.
I want to shout out all my product pushers out there. If you're a product pusher, thank you very much. You know that I love you.
She started dropping freestyles on YouTube to popular songs from ASAP and Schoolboy Q, garnering a solid online fan base. But her videos for Till Death and Cookie Cutter really took off and have 7 and 9.7 million views respectively. In December of 2012, she released her mixtape, Good Nights and Bad Mornings, with singles like Cookie Cutter,
how old that is?
Damn It, and Lord Be
Oh my
With
God,
You.
that's-
Even though she was
that's
seeing more
old.
success, her
my
mom still
God.
wasn't convinced that rapping was a real career. When speaking on the project, she says,
Her mom will
I
not
have
be
another
happy
song
until
called
she goes
Doing
to
Fine,
college.
where I'm really just saying, I may be f***ing up, and I may be partying and doing all this other stuff. And my mom may think my rap career is a joke, but I'm doing fine. I'm paying the bills with music money, and I'm being a responsible adult as much as I can be. I'm doing fine.
That's all that matters, to be honest. As long as you're happy and you can afford to feed yourself, pay your bills, take care of yourself, then that's all that matters. But I love how the turns tabled, not the tables of turns, the turns tabled. Because her mum's like, no, this rap career is not working out. And then I reacted to a video very recently where she took her mum to meet one of her favorite fucking artists. So, completely turned, where she's like, you shouldn't be a rapper. Into more, no, you should do more songs with like these people so I can meet them. It's completely
I feel that
switched
because my
around.
mom still doesn't think doing these YouTube videos is a real career, but the millions of people out there watching would disagree. So take that, Mom.
Facts.
Just joking. My mom is very supportive and I love her. She released a sequel in 2013 called Good Nights and Bad Mornings
yeah.
2, The Hangover, with features from Tech Nine, Trey the Truth, Sia the Prince,
I feel
Ty
like
Dolla
I've
Sign,
heard
and
quite a
more.
few
But her first big
songs from
break
that one.
came with her song Holy Sh**. She was ahead of the wave on releasing short songs because it was a verse that was only a minute 30 long.
Yeah.
The song was featured on thisis50.com and even caught the attention of 3 record labels, Sony, Universal, and Atlantic. I mean,
Oh,
some
yes.
of it
Here we
really
go.
is just ranting. My holy shit video, that's just me getting stuff off my chest. It's sometimes very hard for a girl like me in this industry, whether it be because of gender, race, or something else, and the fact that I'm not comfortable selling some sort of sex image. She eventually signed to Atlantic Records and prepared to release her debut studio album in 2013. And that's where the story would end for a lot of artists. I would say as for the rest of the story, well, you know it because this is before they were famous. But for Snow, things were a little bit different. She went through some label trouble and began a whole new journey recently. She told DJ Booth in a recent interview that Atlantic was trying to make her into something that she wasn't. And for an artist who has always been so set on being herself, there
It
was some
didn't sit
friction.
right.
I don't need writers, I don't need the whole fluff thing. I need to just be real with my fans. I'm not the type of artist you can put together and put into a box. I just fit better on my own.
Yep.
Also stating, I knew nobody was ever going to take care of me. I always moved independently, even on the label. I do feel that learning everything not to do is probably the biggest lesson I learned. She also eventually
Facts.
bought herself out of her management deal because of problems. She actually cites her interview with The Breakfast Club as one of the moments that made her realize she needed to change some things up in her career.
Yes, I feel
you
amazing.
wouldn't quit your job, is basically what you're
Yes,
saying.
y'all made me quit my job.
And since woke took on a life of its own online, a lot of people confused her brand for something that it wasn't. So recently, Snow created a new brand and label called Vibe Hire. Telling LA Weekly, Vibe Hire came because I've had woke forever. There was obviously drama with woke and the word and the fact that I own a trademark and all these crazy things. To me, it was getting very annoying that people thought I made a brand based off of anything other than me knowing how to build a brand.
Whenever you did
So
it,
I was like, we're gonna
fucking
vibe
years prior.
above this and we're not gonna fight things. We're going to move up and show people what we do. And hopefully the internet doesn't take Vibe Higher and ruin it like they do with
Oh,
the
no, they
Wobblies.
probably
In
will, 'cause it's the
2015, she
internet.
released The Rest Comes Later, and in 2016 had a spot on the Hamilton mixtape.
Oh, shit.
They even released a video for the song Immigrants, We Get the Job Done. In 2017, she dropped her EP Halfway There, also dropping the Vibe Higher mixtape as a collective with the artist she signed. Snow also has done some acting, appearing in the TV series Queen
I
of the
still
Stone
have not watched
as
this.
Lil
I really
Trevisa.
need to. It
For
keeps
those of
coming
you who
up on
don't
my
know,
Netflix.
Snow was married for a long time, but kept things out of the public eye because she says her partner was a private person. However, he did star in her most popular music video for Waste of Time, so around 14 million people have seen him. She says the two
this
were
the
together for
toxic one?
almost a decade. But
Yep.
recently the two separated. In an interview with Hot 97, she said,
I divorced a whole man because he was a Trump supporter. It was a lot that piled up, to be honest.
she says that the breakup was what's best for both of them. The two have a child together and they continue to co-parent. Snow says she loves being a mom and providing her kid with a great life, but told Power 106 that she makes him work for his own Fortnite clout and doesn't want him to just buy all the items through his mom's money. After going through some time to
Teaching
heal
your
and to
kid
figure
the
out
right
what she
way.
wanted next in her life,
You won't be
Snow met
famous
her
on
current
Fortnite
girlfriend,
going forward.
Juju in New York.
This chick with curly hair looked like she had the worst f***ing attitude in life. Like, just automatically looked like she had a bad attitude. And I was like, I'm into that.
Being raised in a traditional
enough.
Mexican and religious family, she said that coming out as bisexual to her mother and brother wasn't as hard as she thought it would be.
Yeah,
They
you
were
think
super
that shit
supportive,
was gonna
but it was
be-
more difficult to explain things to her extended family.
To me, when I'm dating somebody, like, that's what I am. Like, if I'm with a guy, I am with a guy. I like him, you know, and if I'm with a girl, then I like her.
Currently, Snow lives in Los Angeles and she is working on new music independently for her fans, consistently putting out dope music videos that are doing numbers on her YouTube channel. Her brother, cousin, and family are involved in her actual career and are on her team to help. So she has close connection rather than what she had before with her management company. She has also been consistently touring with the artists from her new label, Vibe Higher. I literally wake up excited again and happy. To me, that's the biggest thing. I'm a mom and I have an 8-year-old who looks up to me. I'm supposed to tell him he can follow his dreams and shouldn't try to fit into a box that normal America is supposed to be. I want him to be greater, and I can't say that freely without doing that 100% honestly myself.
Facts.
In terms of advice to others, she told Billboard, take your time. Everybody may be trying to rush to find their identity, but it will happen in due time. It was a decade-long journey for Snow to
We
get
getting
to this
life
point,
lessons
and honestly,
from Snow here.
I'm just happy because in all of her recent interviews, she just seems free, happy, and ready to start again. And as for the rest of the story now, well, you know it because this is before they were famous. My name is Jeremy Hecht, and as always, let us know in the comments down below who we should cover next for this channel. Subscribe, notification button on, follow me on Instagram at Jeremy_Hecht, follow Michael at McCrudden. Dream good, live better. I hope you have one heck of a day.
You
I'll see you in the
too!
next video.
Have a great fucking hell, the energy. Hey. Yeah, no, I knew this was going to be a longer video because that was 17 minutes, and like 17 and a half minutes, that video alone. Hey, yeah, no, I wanted to react to that because I always think it's sick. That's why I love reacting to interviews of artists, like actors, all of that. Stuff like that, covering their whole childhood, because it's like you can like an actor or you can like a musician or anything like that, but then I'm the type of person, I like to dive into the backstory. I love history. I love the history of people, the history of things, all of that. So obviously, because I'm a big fan of Snow, because there's different people, you can be a fan, there's a lot of people I'm a fan of as a musician, as a actor, but as a person, I'm just Where Snow the product, I fuck with her music, and I fuck with her as a person. So I want to know the background, I want to know what happened, how'd she get her name, how'd she get to where she is, why did she want to do it, and all of that, and that just gave me the answers, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Obviously, I hope you all enjoyed it the same, but I want to react to more like interview stuff along with her music too. So like I always say, drop the music in the link on the playlist below and drop some interviews so we can deep dive into this even more. But that was very good. I always love those type of ones. I don't know when that video was uploaded though. That might be like a couple of years old. I don't know. But either way, like I said, I heavily enjoyed it and I hope you did too. As always, hope you all are thinking positive and testing negative. Hope you all have an amazing week, amazing day, and an amazing weekend. I fucked that up, but it's okay. As always, this is another Snow Prog reaction. Drop some more that you want me to react to. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. So, peace.